Mag Pro Plus from Painted Arrow Archery. Alright, so we're going to get in a tree now. I've got the saddle out. I've got a stick, one stick. We're going to go up, just kind of shoot from a tree to get it a little more realistic, like what it would be like to be hunting with this. And then we'll talk about the pros and cons. Alright. So right now I've got, I'm hunting. Say I've got an extra phone that I got laying around, and I'm just going to leave it on the bow itself, on the Painted Arrow arm, whatever it is. If I'm just leaving that on there, okay, here's the deer. It's on, but it's in screensaver mode. So I got to tap that, slide up. It's looking for Face ID. Hurry up, no Face ID. Enter my code. If I can enter it correctly. Enter my code. Now, once it gets into that, I've entered my code, it's on my screen. I can hit camera, go to video, make sure it's in one. That's a lot of time wasted. Alright, so kind of to wrap this up, one other thing that I hadn't talked about that I think you're gonna, that's gonna be a knock on this, Painted Arrow is deer move the most at gray light. The first light, last light, that's when they're doing most of their movement. You're gonna have a giant screen of light reflecting back at you. In that process, I would assume it might hurt your actual shooting, having that light shining back at you when you're trying to look through your peep. I think the deer might be spooked off by it as well. You're not able to charge your phone. It's cumbersome to get it into video, hit record, get your phone unlocked. If your phone's in your pocket, it's even more cumbersome. If you're on your phone, it's tricky. You got to be super soft snapping that thing on there, that magnet, when it snaps it on there. I don't know how you can hear it on the camera if it's picking it up, but it's a pretty aggressive little smack when that magnet snaps on. Meaning it's a good magnet. The magnet's strong. The metal plate seems good. What I don't know is really good is the glue that's holding the metal plate to your phone. If that glue comes off, like it has on me a couple times already, if this piece right here comes off your case, if that little adhesive behind it actually is holding better on this case than it was my other one. If that comes off, your phone's falling out of the tree or wherever you're at. So that worries me a little bit. Again, it holds better on this than it does my iPhone for some reason. The quality of it is pretty good video quality. I mean, you're talking about expensive phones that have good built-in image stabilization. They shoot in 4K. The item itself is relatively cheap, $50, and I mean you're able to start filming your hunts right away. The reality of it, though, I don't think is there yet. I don't think it's as functional as it should be. You're going to have decent quality. It's a good toy for going out and shooting and practicing, but the idea of how I get how I make all that happen when a deer's coming in, that's going to be a little tougher, I think. I think if you're shooting a doe on a feeder and you know it's going to be a doe fest, and you know you might be able to get away with that. Although mature does get a little skittish. You start moving around up there a bunch, and the movement of dig phone out of pocket, unlock screen, put on record, hit video, hit video, then hit record, and then snap it onto this thing. I think that's too much movement and too much sound. I think you're going to spook deer. Your deer are going to bust you, and you're going to miss kills because of that. It's hard to argue that this right here, just going boop, hitting that button, and then you're ready to go shoot, or having it in your pocket, just reaching in your pocket, hitting record, or reaching up here on your camera when you grab your bow and hitting the record button. It's much less movement and much less sound than, you know, all the digging in your pocket, unlocking, and then snapping it onto that metal magnet up there. So functionality of it, I don't think is very good. The idea of it is great because it's cheap. It's a cheap way to get into filming. If you're trying to start this on a budget, maybe it's a good way to get started. At least get into it. By all means, get into it. You know, and maybe you start upgrading as you go, because it is fun to film your hunts and film your kills and send them out to your buddies. I don't know that that's the way to do it for killing big deer, mature deer, or, you know, consistently killing deer. All right, so one last wrap up on this Mag Pro Plus. It's a neat little toy, but I think it's a gimmick. I don't think it's gear. I think it's more of a gadget. It's not feasible when you're trying to make that kill in the heat of the moment, to do all that stuff and get all that going. The glare from your phone worries me too. You're going to see that. Are they going to bust you when that phone's glaring back at you? Are they going to bust you when you're digging in here and you're trying to get it unlocked? It's not worth the risk, if you ask me. Plus, again, for another $100, you can get a Solo Extreme that does fantastic on your bow, and you can also put it on a shotgun. You can put it in your scope mount. You can mount it on your deer rifle. It's much more versatile as opposed to the painted arrow arm that is strictly going to be for your bow, and doesn't function as good as you're hoping it will. It'll function. It'll record. The video is going to look good because your iPhones look good. Your expensive iPhone makes good video, but the functionality of it in reality, it's not going to work like you hope it will. Not being able to wirelessly charge your phone is going to be an issue for some people too. I always wirelessly charge my phone at night, so I think I'm going to give it a pass, call it a gadget, and keep rolling when I've been rolling. If you like this, subscribe, give it a thumbs up. Thank you.